We live? Amazing.
Yes,
We're
we're
live.
live.
Thank you so much, Mario. I'm super excited to be here with all of you guys to talk about FOSSASIA and what we've been up to. So I'm just going to share my screen and talk you through what's coming up in the next couple of days, what to expect from the hackathon. And we also have a really exciting panel where Skyler and Andre will be joining us. Skyler's from the Ethereum Foundation, Andre's from Deep Work, and I myself am the founder of Influence Media. So we'll be talking about Web3 trends and what we expect to see in this cycle. Following that, we have a really great presentation by the Chainlink team. Andre will be doing that. So let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen and start taking you through what to expect in the next couple of days.
Okay, so also welcome from me. I'm Mario from FOSSASIA from the team here. We are setting the stage at the moment here for the FOSSASIA Summit happening in Hanoi this year. And without further ado, I'll take myself out and let you run the next presentation, Shamini. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mario. So everyone, welcome to the FOSSASIA Hackathon. Now, we all know it's a super unwell kept secret that Asia's tech talent leads the market. So we're very excited to be doing this right here out of Hanoi. And we also have a lot of hackers coming in from India. Super excited to see the Southeast Asian participation. Let's jump in. First things first, everyone wants to know what's in it for them. So we have up to $5,000 worth of prizes and credits. There are 3 prizes up for grabs. This is $1,000 for each of the prize components. Best use of Chainlink, jury's choice, and most innovative use case. Our lead sponsor, of course, is Chainlink, and we're also supported by the Devcon team at Ethereum Foundation and Devfolio. So really looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to build during this hackathon, and I'll jump into a little bit more detail now. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot to mention this. Tickets to Devcon. So we all know that Ethereum has this mega cool event every year, and it's focused on developers. So the best project on Ethereum that is selected by the Ethereum Foundation for this hackathon will get free tickets for the entire team. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump away in Thailand for us in Southeast Asia, so I'm really excited about this. It's a great place to meet and network with the wider ecosystem, and also to just meet people that are building cool things. Also, as an additional benefit, a 50% discount is going to be given to every hackathon participant who delivers a project before the deadline. So those are what we have up for grabs. We're really excited to have you guys. And I'll take you through a little bit on, actually, no, let's not do general housekeeping just yet. I'm going to jump off and I'm going to invite our panelists to the stage so that we can talk a little bit about how Web3 is transforming. Mario, maybe you can take the screenshot off the table, and how Web3 is transforming, and what kind of trends and activities we have coming up for the industry ahead. I'm just going to pull on a chair because we actually have Andre here in Hanoi with me. Andre from Deep Work, please meet him.
Hello.
Exciting. And Mario, if you can just pull up Skyler, that would be amazing. Hey, Skyler, I wish you were here with us in the university. We just did a really cool presentation to a lot of university developer computer science students about the hackathon, so they'll be joining us as well. And this is Skyler. Skyler, maybe you want to introduce yourself.
Very cool. Very cool. Nice to meet you, Andre. Nice to see you, Sharmi. Skyler. Yeah, I'm Skyler. I'm with the Ethereum Foundation, leading the Devcon team. So yeah, excited to see what you're all going to work on this weekend and meet a bunch of you also next week.
Yeah, we're all here in Hanoi, Vietnam. So I guess I will kick off with my initial question that I wanted to frame this whole conversation around. What are the most interesting apps or trends that you're excited for this particular cycle? Maybe we can start with you, Skyler, and then we can jump into what we each think.
Yeah. So I mean, so from my lens with the Ethereum Foundation and focus on Ethereum, I think what I'm mostly excited about are like the emergence of rollups, of these layer 2s that are starting to become more prominent within Ethereum, namely because they bring cheaper transactions, right? They bring cheaper transactions and so users can now use applications that are much cheaper, but also developers can build things that are not just financially focused, but that are focused on other things, like maybe identity or like gaming or voting or things like this, that aren't necessarily financially focused, but and they can build these things on rollups like Arbitrum, like others. And so that's largely what I'm really focused on, what I'm excited about for this year is like the emergence of rollups and cheaper transactions, and hopefully seeing new use cases, new applications become developed.
Mind if I poke a little bit more? What is the most exciting use case you've seen recently?
Maybe one of the most exciting ones has been Farcaster, has been like the social network, like a new social network that has emerged over the last like 2 years, but really only late last year did it start becoming much more popular. And the cool thing about that is it is built on a rollup, and yeah, it's like it introduces different. Yeah, it's kind of like a competitor to Twitter, but instead of being a closed protocol, a closed network that's controlled by Twitter, it's an open network, and it allows for like different clients to be built. So one of those clients is called Warpcast, but there can be others. Your network is owned by you. You are less likely to be censored, or in some cases not even possible to be censored. And so yeah, Farcaster is a really cool example of like a novel application that was built that's not necessarily like a financially focused application.
Amazing. I love Warpcaster, and I've been experimenting a little bit with it as well. And I mean, with everything that came out with Degen Chain, like there's so much incentive to be on these kind of social fi projects. So definitely a trend I'm watching this season. What about you, Andre? What are you looking forward to?
I guess there's quite a lot. So my background is in product design and organizational design. And from that lens, I noticed that there's a big trend in actual usability. So there's user research or market research is becoming finally a thing that people take care of or care for, so that they're not building startups like in a last bull market that all eventually die because nobody uses them, but actually focus on creating something that is valuable and doing appropriate market research to understand what people's needs are and how to design something that's useful for that. So that, I think, is one trend that I see kind of slowly becoming more prominent in the community. The other thing that I personally find exciting around this topic about future of work, because it's something that is also slowly getting more prominence, is the fact that last cycle we were looking into play-to-earn systems where people play games and then earn tokens for it. And in this cycle, I think people slowly notice that they can actually instrumentalize the different interactions and behaviors that people do on their phones with very little effort. But obviously, like with an incentive mechanism or with appropriate mechanism design that sustains the project, and actually use that for meaningful things. So meaningful work, meaningful educational tasks. I think we'll see a lot of applications that use the same behavioral mechanisms, especially driven by tokenomics, in order to educate people around things that are more interesting or more kind of novel. And at the same time, or maybe even do work, like high quality work, or teaching people skills that they might not have access to otherwise, because schools are kind of slower in the progression of educational content, especially if you look at like geographical differences. Like we're in Vietnam right now, and here the quality of education is just different to a Western country. And I think we'll see a lot of trends towards that as the economy needs to shift into more sustainable models, and as more people really need money and need to survive through the next year of inflation. And we don't know what's going to happen with everything else that's globally going on. So that's why I think there's also pressure to actually make these things possible and work on them. So that's roughly my observation. Also excitement about it, because I think there's a lot of potential that especially the Web3 space can provide and build for.
That's an interesting point. I mean, coming from it as a Web3 marketing agency's perspective, we are currently drowning in clients running point systems. So, you know, it's a reality in this industry of magic internet money, I think, where we have a lot of incentives baked into that are financial, baked into kind of the actions that we want a user to take. So I am 100% with you. I think that we should, as an industry, look for ways that this can be more value generative than value extractive for protocols. I'm curious, Skyler, if there's anything you wanted to add on that point.
I don't have much to add on this particular point. I don't think so.
No, you're good. So I guess my point, my thought process around what interests me, I kind of look at the entire industry as a fractal of how humans behave, and I'm very fascinated by the meme coin trend, and I think it really speaks towards kind of moment in history for people in the retail space, and it speaks towards the complete like disregard for the financial system, and like it is on a cultural level a really interesting move that we're seeing this cycle. Like we've had different kinds of like highly volatile assets. This time it's memes. I mean, I find them exciting. I think they're an interesting like expression of this industry, expression of culture on the web as well. And I'm not going to plug any here. So, well, I guess that's it from us, really. Is anything that you guys wanted to add on like what you're excited about in the upcoming months?
I mean, I think so. The meme coins, you mentioned meme coins. Like, I think they're certainly like a hot topic right now, and I think there's always going to be like inherent to crypto, inherent to Web3 is this like is trading, right? There is always going to be like cryptocurrencies and investing and people looking to get rich quick and things like this. And so like I think the meme coins definitely are an aspect of this. They are also like, yeah, like it's the purest example of like narrative trading, I guess, and like trying to guess the next narrative. But also I think it's like, in my opinion, like sometimes it's distracting from like a lot of the other things that we are working on within crypto, within Web3. So like there's obviously a bunch of non-financial use cases and applications within crypto. And those are the things that I think like deserve more attention. Like they're less like hot. They're less like, there's less opportunity to make a lot of money quickly off of these things. But they're things like identity or things like property rights or like NFT platforms or like gaming. You mentioned like play to earn. Like the most interesting gaming that I've seen is like something called Autonomous Worlds that's been being worked on by 0x Park. This group of basically like zero knowledge proof researchers. And I think like basically they're like creating simulations that run indefinitely within like built on Ethereum. And those I think are really cool applications that aren't necessarily play to earn. They're not really like financially focused. They're more like play to have fun, and things like that. So yeah, the meme coins are definitely a hot topic, but I think there's also a lot more to explore beyond just that. So for everyone listening, like,
well, it is a bull market, so we're going to get a lot of hot topic like buzz, but you know, the builders are here for much longer than that, and that's who we are here to serve in this particular hackathon. So guys, without much further ado, I will invite Andre from Chainlink up onto stage, and he's going to take us through Chainlink technology and how you can use it in your projects.
Thank you, and hi guys. That was an awesome panel. Cool. Yeah. So I hope you can see this screen. So in the next, we'll see 20 minutes, we're going to talk about the Chainlink and how it can help you to connect smart contracts to the real world. Yeah, as being said, my name is Andre. I'm one of the developer advocates here at Chainlink Labs, and here's my Twitter and other handles if you want to follow up afterwards with any questions. Cool. So first of all, let's quickly understand what Chainlink is. So if you've been in a space for a while, you will probably know and heard about price feeds, which is one of the products which was heavily and is still heavily used in various different DeFi use cases. Basically a way to get price data of various different cryptocurrencies on chain, so smart contracts and other DeFi protocols can't consume it. But the same way, like since then, Chainlink evolved into something which is now the blockchain services platform with a lot of services and products available, which some of them you can see on the screen, and more of them are coming soon. So price feeds are that I mentioned are just a subset of data feeds, which we can see in the top left. So in the same way that the internet is just for email or Amazon is just for books, Chainlink is just for price data. So it's much more. So with Chainlink, you can add now blockchain to your application's tech stack. And I personally love platforms because, like, whenever I start with a new project, I'll probably use GitHub as my code hosting platform. If I want to do something with cloud, if I want to host that somewhere, I'll probably go with AWS because I'm familiar with that stack. And if I want to do something with blockchains, well, I'm going to just go with Chainlink. And today during this workshop, I'm going to try to explain how you can use some of these products and services, starting with Chainlink data feeds. So as I said, the price feeds are just a subset of data feeds. It's the way to get price of various different tokens on chain, but also there's like proof of reserve feeds, NFT floor price feeds, rate and volatility feeds, L2 sequencer uptime feeds, and more. How it works is that basically data feeds are implementation of a push-based model oracle. So when it comes to oracles, it's really important that they are decentralized. So if you have like a centralized source of truth, which oracles are essentially you're at risk of getting inaccurate data and or no data at all. So with Chainlink, their concept of DONs, which stands for Decentralized Oracle Network, and each node operator in a DON can query, can have their own sources of truths, can query DEXs, TEXs, whatever sources they want for getting the latest price of any given asset. And they were going to do that constantly. After that, the second step is they're going to talk between themselves using peer-to-peer protocol, which calls OCR, or off-chain reporting, and they will need to reach a consensus of the actual price. So what they're going to do is they're going to, for each price feed, there are two triggers, because writing a new price constantly on chain is expensive. That's why it's like a push oracle. So there's like two triggers. The first one is whether the price changed below or above a certain price threshold. The second one is literally like a time trigger. So if the new report has not been written in under 15 minutes, we're going to write it, or 30, whatever, we're going to write it anyway. So basically, the nodes in a DON will need to reach a consensus, and then there is a transmitter DON. They're going to write a new report or new price to this reference smart contract on chain, and then your smart contract can, or your protocol, whatever, can just query a view function of that reference smart contract and get the latest price report data, which is why I said it's called push-based oracle model. How you can use it? Well, you can go to data.chain.link. Here's the example of ETH in terms of USD data, but for all the feeds, data is there, so you can see mentioned thresholds, mentioned heartbeat parameters, all the nodes in a DON, their latest reports, etc. Then there is Chainlink VRF, which stands for verifiable random function. So the randomness is really tricky to be done correctly on chain. So the properties from randomness that we expect are unpredictability. A random value needs to be fair and non-based. That value should also be provable random and resistant to manipulation or tamper-proof. The problem is that if you want to do that on chain, we are at risk of MEV attacks, especially if we're generating randomness in a plain Solidity smart contract, in a plain Solidity code base, because earlier miners, now validators hardly, but mostly miners can manipulate that info. For example, if you're using block number or some other parameter that can be influential by the entity proposing that block, and there is like incentive for them to attack it, maybe your on-chain randomness can be your contract implementing on-chain randomness can be exploited. So the solution to this problem is actually Chainlink VRF, which has all of these 4 properties of random value, and it's an implementation of a science paper. So Chainlink VRF, which we can see on the next slide, is the verifiable random value. And then also, if you want to implement it, it's like a 2 transactions process. So first of all, your user contract, we're gonna talk directly with the VRF coordinator and request randomness. Then the VRF node, we're going to listen to a blockchain and pick up an event that there was a new request. Then it's going to wait for number of request confirmations. The minimum on majority testnets is 5 or 3 or 5, depends. But you can set that to whatever value you want. The longer you wait, the more secure you are, because you are basically defend against chain reorgs. And then after that and request confirmations block numbers, the response will be provided back on chain in the second transaction. There is one contract in the middle between VRF node and VRF coordinator called vrf.swl, which is essentially a cryptographic implementation of that paper. And it will validate that the number is truly random and it really came from Chainlink side. So if something wrong in that process, it'll just revert, so you'll never receive a random value. You can track that on a dashboard, of course, but that also means that once you receive a random value, you can be sure that random was indeed generated by Chainlink and truly random, and also you can off-chain verify that all of that info that is done by the VRF.swl as well. But that's kind of how things are working. And then once you receive a random value, you can do with it whatever you want. So whatever you want can be various different use cases, from gaming, NFTs to raffles and etc. Then there is Chainlink automation. So because smart contracts are passive by nature, so Ethereum itself is basically like a state machine. So in order to go from state A to state B, we need to initiate transaction and to change state. So that's what I mean by passive by nature. So if you're creating some kind of yield farming protocol, or you want to distribute salaries every single month, that option A is just for you to be in front of your laptop and sign all of these transactions, or option B is to just integrate Chainlink automation, which we can see it's pretty interesting how it works. So there is also, again, Chainlink node, Dawn, which communicates with these upkeep contracts, which will trigger your upkeep contract is basically your implementation. So you're going to ping it and ask basically, do you need some kind of automation from it? And if there is a need, then if conditions are met, then the actual function that needs to be automated will be called, and only you will be charged for that action. So there are currently 3 different triggers. So time-based automation, really self-explanatory. You're going to select the cron job, and on each first of the month, or each 15 minutes, or each third Wednesday, however you want, some function you said that needs to be automated will be called. The third one is log trigger. So log trigger basically listens for events for a specific smart contracts, and when those specific events get emitted, this is a trigger for automation to call some function. And the custom logic is the one that it's more powerful, but the more steps you need to implement it. Basically, your smart contract needs to inherit automation compatible interface, which consists of 2 functions only: check upkeep and perform upkeep. Check upkeep in like 99% of the time will be a view function, so that's the function that is going to be called by the node constantly. So that function should return true or false plus some extra data. If it returns false, well, nothing happened. If it returns true, that means, hey, I want automation, something to be automated. So the perform upkeep function will be called automatically, and here is your actual logic. I talked about push-based Oracle, which is data feeds, essentially. Chain data streams are our latest product, and it's an implementation of pull-based Oracle. So how it works. So as I said, push-based Oracle or price feeds provides like regular updates on chain when certain price thresholds or time periods have been met, as I said, 2 triggers. But maybe you need price data more frequently and with more accuracy, with more decimal places. That's why there is a pull-based Oracle model which provides low latency delivery of market data off-chain, and then you can verify that market data on-chain, which is much faster. So basically, with pull-based oracles, we still have Dawn, which constantly calculates the new price. prices communicate with nodes communicate between themselves and reach a consensus, but then your application will fetch the price off chain. You'll have like a price report. Then you're going to go on chain. You're going to interact with the verified smart contract, which is using zero knowledge proof, is going to verify that the price report is legit. You're going to pay for usage, and then only then you're going to have the actual price value. So with pool-based oracles now, a couple of new use cases are unlocked, like perpetual futures, options, prediction markets, and more. Extremely nice feature about Chainlink is that you can combine all of these services, so you don't need to just use just one service from the platform, of course. So this is this slide explains to you how you can combine log trigger automation with Chainlink data streams, and this is the pattern that is already used in production. So now automation done will communicate with the data done directly, and through the perform upkeep will deliver the unverified price report to your smart contract. Then inside that perform upkeep function, you're gonna interact or call the verify function from the verifier smart contract, and as a callback, get the actual price, and then do with that price whatever you want. For example, GMX is probably one of the most popular protocols currently using data streams. Their use case is that they're gonna create a new trade order or new limit order, and they're gonna emit an event. Then automation done will, using log trigger, will subscribe to that event, and whenever that event get emitted, it's gonna call the data done to get the data streams report. Using the perform upkeep function, we're gonna deliver that unverified report on chain, then call to the Chainlink verified smart contract to verify the price data, and then once we have a price, we're gonna close or settle the trade. So it's pretty cool and pretty fast. Then probably the most popular one currently is Chainlink CCIP, which stands for Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol. And Chainlink CCIP is the general protocol for sending cross-chain messages between different blockchains, messages including tokens and data. So Chainlink is the name for a reason. That's the idea for a couple of years now. So with Chainlink CCP, one can transfer supported tokens, as I said, supported because to do this in decentralized manner, we need to have token pools. So obviously not every single token is supported, because you can spin up your token, like develop your C20 token in like a couple of minutes now with OpenSupply and Wizard and a bunch of other tools. Then you can send any kind of data, and when I say any kind of data, literally like from hello world strings to encoded Solidity structs to encoded function selectors to be called with arguments to be called directly on other side, etc. And you can combine both, which is the most powerful feature. So CCP sender can be externally owned account or any smart contract. So literally, to send a message is just a matter of interacting with the router contract. CCP receiver can be any address if you're transferring tokens, or if you're sending data alongside tokens or just data, then your smart contract must implement CCP receiver function, which is just the implementation of one function, CCP receive. And by calling that CCP receive function, you're actually going to receive the bytes data that you need to decode. Otherwise, like externally owned accounts cannot handle code, so only tokens will arrive. So this is the high level overview of CCIP. There is one CCIP router smart contract per CCIP powered blockchain. Other stuff are currently here as a black box, and you can literally see CCP as a black box. So you just need to interact with the router, call the CCP send function, and provide the destination chain selector. So sending this message to this blockchain, and then the CCP will do the rest. You can just monitor the status of your cross-chain message on ccip.chain.link, which is a CCP explorer, and eventually the router contract on other side will deliver your tokens and data, aka your message. So it's the same manual model of like going to UPS or your post office with the package, and then they will deliver it, pay for it, and they will just handle the rest. But if you need to understand more how it works under the hood, or you want to debug it, it's really simple. So again, we have the sender and the router, sender smart contract or externally owned account on the one side, which can send data or tokens or both, interacting with the router contract. Then the router contract will interact with on-ramp contract, which will then interact with token pools. So that's that interaction is happening only if you're transferring tokens. So token pools will then has like the pool of that tokens which is supported. So on-ramp contract will either lock or burn those tokens on one side. Then instead of one DON, there is actually 3 off-chain components, 3 DONs doing 3 different stuff. So committing DON is listening to that transaction and is going to recreate the Merkle tree once that transaction is finalized on the source blockchain. So on Ethereum, that means 2 epochs. It will recreate recreate Merkle tree with all of these latest finalized transactions, and it will store that Merkle tree on the commit store as a smart contract, which you cannot see on this diagram, unfortunately. Then the risk management network will do the same, and then it's gonna, each single node in the risk management network DON will get that reported Merkle tree from the commit store contract, compare it against their own Merkle tree they formed, and they will vote to have for this cross-chain message to be either cursed or blessed. So cursed is wrong because if it's cursed, then the delivery will stop. So it can happen if there is a chain reorg or something unusual and unusual with a blockchain included in a transfer. If the status is blessed, that's cool. Then the delivery will happen. So executing DON will wait for a blast tag, and then we'll proceed with the execution by calling the off-ramp contract, which will unlock or mint the dedicated amount of tokens on other side. They'll pass the message to the router contract, which will essentially deliver it. Now, as I said, do you need to know all of this? Probably not. If you want to debug, however, some stuff can be helpful, but it's the same mental model if like you're traveling using airplane overseas. The very first step is to check your luggage, basically on those check-in desks. And then you're gonna just grab a coffee, have a walk, have a lot of flight. Now it depends whether you're flying to east or west, or depends on like destinations. Flight's gonna be longer or shorter. That's also like a manual model for transferring tokens between blockchains. So if the finalized time is shorter, then the cross-chain message will be delivered quicker, so we cannot compromise on security there. But my point is that once you land on other airports, you're gonna collect your luggage, and under the hood a lot of stuff will happen when they will maybe even open it, and you'll see a note, okay, your luggage has been opened because of the security reasons, blah blah. But essentially you don't care about that underlying process. You just care that you collect your luggage / cross-chain message. And finally, there is Chainlink functions, which is a way to execute any given JavaScript code in a completely decentralized and cryptographically verifiable manner. So basically, some stuff, some actions like some complex math functions can be expensive to compute on chain due to gas costs. So you can outsource that for a fixed price to Chainlink functions, or some other actions like emitting HTTP GET or POST requests are actually impossible to be done on chain. So you can just do that using Chainlink functions. So this is the high overview, but you don't need to. Again, you can combine it with automation if you want, but you don't need to worry a lot about that. The only thing that you need to implement is your consumer smart contract in Solidity, which will initiate functions request and have the ability to get the response, and the JavaScript code, which can be whatever you want, whatever your use case is. So that only this dark blue triangle consumer is for you to develop. The rest is the architecture of the Chainlink functions. So yeah, your JavaScript code, what that can be? Well, literally anything. So you can fetch data using HTTP GET or POST requests from any Web2 system like AWS, your database, you can be Firebase, Google Cloud Storage, whatever. You can connect with social media APIs like from Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. For example, I created like I combined Facebook and Instagram business pages to create like a giveaway. So they'll be, okay, this is a new post on my business page. This is a new giveaway. And if you comment your wallet address in the next 24 hours, Chainlink functions triggered by Chainlink automation after exactly 24 hours will pick all of these addresses using the Facebook API, then pick 3 random winners, and then as a callback we'll have these 3 random winners, and then we're gonna mint NFTs to those addresses, so those NFTs could be seen as digital collectibles on Instagram profiles, for example. So that's like the idea. Obviously, you can integrate your smart contracts with AI using OpenAI API endpoints. And also you can pass secrets. So whether that's like the API key or any other password or secret, that's completely doable. And that's a whole another topic, how that's implemented, but it's completely secure. So you can connect, for example, data from password protected IoT devices like smartwatches, fridges, etc. So whatever you want. So if you need inspiration of what that JavaScript code can be, there is a dedicated website for that. Use chainlinkfunctions.com, from where you can just copy paste JavaScript code snippets directly and it will just work. So you can also open a PR with your own implementation. Someone will review it and it will appear on this website as well. And also there is this online playground for JavaScript code only, so you can try and develop your JavaScript prior to that copying to Foundry or Hardhat environment when you're gonna actually do the testing with your smart contract. So same features are here, just as clickable and nice. And just to mention, you can literally write any JavaScript code. Even imports are supported, so you can import a packet from meters or function or whatever, and just do whatever you want. So it's pretty cool and pretty powerful. Obviously, more languages are coming in the future. That these functions just recently came out of beta, so it's still a new product. And that'll be it. Now it's time for questions. Thank you for your time, guys. If there are no way to ask me questions directly, you can always follow up on Twitter, yeah, that'll be pretty much.
Andrea, I'm sorry to interrupt, but is there a Discord link or something where we can send people who have specific questions about Chainlink?
Yes,
Maybe?
I don't have the URL with me, but there is official Chainlink Discord. You can find it on our website on chain.link. If you join our Chainlink Discord, there's like a bunch of channels available. So please just tag me. I'm again there, Andre, Chainlink Labs. You'll see a lot of people tag me, and I'll follow up. So yeah, you can find our Discord at our official channels.
We'll add it to the session description on YouTube. We'll also have it in our Telegram channel, which you can join on our Devfolio page. So jump into the Telegram channel, see if you want to find some people to hack with, and let's get started. Maybe I can. Thank you so much for your time, Andre. And I'm just going to go into a little bit more around rules and just what to expect from the hackathon. Let me just share my screen really quickly. Amazing. I'm sharing my screen. So these are just some general housekeeping to keep in mind. We have a Telegram group. You can jump into the Telegram group from the Devfolio page. The links are up there. Inside the Telegram group, you'll be directed to a hacker's guide. There's also a link over here, and we'll add this link to the YouTube description down below. And if you want to get help from the Chainlink team, I've also included the Discord link directly over here so that you can get in touch with them and solve any of the bugs that you're looking to get over during this hackathon. So this is general housekeeping. I wanted to also let everyone know, especially if you're in Hanoi, to come in and join us on the 8th to 10th of April at the FOSSASIA Summit, which is going to be an event that's in person, and the hackathon closing ceremony is going to be happening over there. Now, I'll quickly take you through Andre's really spoken very deeply around Chainlink's technology. I'll summarize a little bit and talk about a few things that you could potentially build and what the requirements are for you to win this hackathon. So to win this hackathon, you have to build on Chainlink, which is, I mean, they are a core sponsor and their technology is very, very exciting. So anything that comes out of Chainlink, documentation, using CCIP functions, price feeds, data streams, some things that you could build are generative AI NFTs using Chainlink functions, censorship-resistant news, headline aggregators, a bunch of different use cases. We're really excited to see the ones you come up with. We actually have a prize for most innovative use case. So looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Now, just to hone in on the requirements, I already mentioned that Chainlink must be used in some way, shape, or form in your submission. This means that the front end simply reading the Chainlink data feed doesn't really count. The use of Chainlink must be within your smart contracts, and project submissions are evaluated holistically, but there will be bonus points given to projects that use Chainlink in a more meaningful way. So have a think about what use case you're building and where Chainlink really sits within that. In terms of judging criteria, we're looking at UI, UX, and blockchain technology application, and also wow factor. So really, really looking forward to what you guys are going to come back with within those frameworks. Everyone have a great time. Join the Telegram group. The link's in Devfolio. I'm really looking forward to seeing us all come together and build some really cool things during this hackathon. It should kick off very soon. I'm happy to have you here with us. There we go. I think that's us.
Okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, let's close this session, and we're really looking forward to everyone, and hope to see you also at the FOSSASIA Summit. So thanks, everyone. Have a good hacking.
Yes, thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.